here with some more DT Daily. I think you can hear the music playing right now. That is Racella, and we have her on the line right now to talk about her new album, some of the amazing people she's worked with, where she's at. I believe the new album just came out yesterday, but let's get her in here right now. Racella, hello. Hi. Oh, I'm having trouble. Can we hear?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, good. It worked. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for joining us today. Where are you at right now? Are you out on the road or promoting the album or at home?
I'm actually at home right now.
Nice.
Comfort at my own home. My daughter's sick, so.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I can talk quietly if that makes a difference.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your career and just, it's an incredible story, a lot of what happened, you know, on your career and your rise to this, but maybe we'll start in the beginning. Did you know you wanted to be a singer growing up?
Absolutely.
You did?
I knew since I was 4. My whole family sings, so I was really inspired by my parents.
So you're kind of raised up in it, so you knew this is what you wanted to do. Good for you for knowing that early. Well, let's talk about, going from, did you start off getting into the industry as writing or singing and writing? Like, how did that progression into actually the professional side of it work?
Man, it's such a crazy story. I actually started as a songwriter. So I was just randomly searching for people online to work with, and I met up with I emailed with my current manager right now. And that's how I met one of the workers there, DJ. So yeah, I started off as a songwriter first, and then I always was an artist myself, but I wanted to get into that field because I loved to songwrite.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's a really great, probably a good way to get into the industry, I would imagine.
Absolutely, yes.
And you've worked with some pretty amazing talent. I mean, just to name a couple, I saw Dr. Dre for one of them. Like, what's it like working with Dr. Dre? I mean, I have to ask.
Oh my God, it's surreal.
Yeah.
It's very surreal. I haven't worked with him for a while though, since probably June of this year.
Oh, that's not even that long ago though.
Yeah, that's a long time. But yeah, he's really nice. He's really down to earth and just like hella chill.
Really? I mean, I guess that's how I would. Oh yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of how I would picture him as being chill. But then you never know, like what somebody's actually like when you actually meet them. Because you work with Dr. Dre. You've, I believe, written for Kelly Rowland. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So when you're writing for somebody else, like, what's that process like?
And honestly, I just try not to think, and I try to just feel. I have to feel what's in my gut, and whatever comes out of my gut, I just sing it. I record it. And that's why it's so important when people say, "Oh, I'm inspired to do something." I have to get my phone out and I need to record it. It's real. It's a real thing. Because once you think of it, once you feel it, and you put it out there, or if you don't put it out there, it's not gonna come back to you.
Right. Yeah. It could be gone, if you don't do something with it. Well, I mean, I think actually that just from a technical standpoint, that kind of plays into what we're talking about. So when you're out, like you're inspired by something, whatever it is, and you need to get that recorded, what kind of phone do you use to record it on? I
use an iPhone 7.
Okay.
Fortunately, my husband works at Sprint, and he gets me like all the deals.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I usually use Pro Tools to record all my music. And yeah, that's basically it. So
you out there, you get this idea, you record down a sample of it and take that over to Pro Tools and then just start recording on there.
Yes.
Well,
very process.
Let's talk about this new album. So did you record this new album yourself? Let's talk about what you have coming out here.
Yes, I actually did record it myself.
Wow.
I learned how to engineer my own music like back in 2010. Somebody told me that Pro Tools was like the industry program to use for music. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I'll try to learn it. So thank God I learned it, because now I know how to engineer my own music and like edit it and do all the things that I want to do with it, with my voice.
That's impressive. I mean, that's really kind of taking care of everything. If you can write, you can record, and you can actually do the engineering side of it. Like that's a well-rounded resume right there.
Oh I mean, you got to learn how to do everything if you want to get something done.
Right? Yeah, and especially if you want it done the way that you want it. And I know that we've got, a trailer I think that we want to play that's just kind of covering some of what we're talking about. So I'm not sure if the production staff, do we want to play that right now? We can go to that, and then we'll come back and talk some more with Racella.
Okay.
Los Angeles City Fire Department, give us a call back at 911.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Hey, call me back. I'm hella worried. I'm gonna go to it. Please call me.
Wow, that's intense. And I know I read some of the history behind it, and I did just say that we have a question that just came through, so I wanted to get to that too, but maybe just to explain to everybody the inspiration for this album, Waves.
Okay, so I was inspired by my husband. 3 years ago, we got into a terrible car accident, and we had just gotten married like a month before he got into this accident.
Wow.
So it was just like my highest of highs to my lowest of lows. It was like a wave, so that's why I named the album Waves, the EP Waves. Yeah, so he had like a 10% chance of living, and I just prayed. I asked everybody to pray. Community is a really big part of my life, so my community really helped me out, and that's the city of Delano. And yeah, like, it was such a miraculous thing to witness for my husband to just survive that type of accident. He had heart surgery, and he also had spine surgery. And yeah, nobody knew if he was going to make it, but I just stayed with him. And I was really adamant to stay with him in the hospital until he came home with me.
Wow.
So he did. And then I still remember writing that song, Can't Do This on My Own, at the edge of his bed. I was like, it was such a hard time for me. It was a very difficult time. It still boggles my mind how I got through that. I know it was the spirit of God for sure.
I mean, that's an incredible story. I can only imagine, the inspiration that you got out of that, and I'm so happy that obviously he made it through, which is wonderful. Yeah, 10% chance. That is absolutely horrifying for, I think, about any of us, for anything going through that. So I think it's really cool that you took that inspiration and what you went through and made this album, Waves. And so this album is out. Actually, I'll get this one question here, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the album. So Tagavor on YouTube just says, are there any artists you wish to work with and why?
Man, there's so many people I want to work with. Hiatus Coyote, Anderson .Paak. Although I did meet him. Man, there's so many people.
That's a tough question, I'm sure. Yeah.
There's a list, a long list. So
there you go. There's a list. Tagavor. That's all you're getting on that one.
Yeah.
Well, so the album Waves, is that right that it just came out yesterday?
It came out on November 12th, my birthday.
November 12th, or 2 days ago, it's the 14th.
Yeah.
So just this week. So it's a huge week then for that. Where can people find the album?
So you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, all digital platforms. It's also on SoundCloud. Yeah, you could also go to my Instagram, which is at Racella, Racella, and you can find all my links in the bio.
Fantastic. Well, Racella, congratulations, on everything you've gone through, and now to get to this point and have this album out there. I wish you all the success. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. So you heard her. You can get it on all of those different platforms. Follow her on Instagram. Racella, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.